Our Histories, Our Stories would like to shine a light on James Baldwin. James Baldwin was a prolific American writer, novelist, essayist, poet, and activist. He was born on August 2, 1924 in Harlem. He found his zeal for writing in the library, where, as he put it, he preferred to be alone from the abuses he faced at home from his stepfather. At an early age, he started writing and was the author of notable essays such as The Fire Next Time, No Names in the Street, and The Devil Works. Being a great novelist, one of his best novels, If Beale Street Could Talk, was adapted into a film and won the Academy Award in 2018.
If we were white, if we were Irish, if we were Jewish, if we were Poles, if we had, in fact, in your mind, a frame of reference, our heroes would be your heroes too. Nat Turner would be a hero for you instead of a threat. Malcolm X might still be alive. And everyone is very proud of brave little Israel, a state against which I have nothing. I don't want to be misinterpreted. I'm not an anti-Semite. But, when the Israelis pick up guns, or the Poles, or the Irish, or any white man in the world says, give me liberty or give me death, the entire white world applauds. When a black man says exactly the same thing, word for word, he is judged a criminal and treated like one, and everything possible is done to make an example of this bad nigger so there won't be any more like him.
His books portrayed the need for civil, sexuality, race, and class changes within America. He wrote about the challenges African Americans faced in the mid-20th century on gay and bisexuality. Most of the things he writes about, he stated he had experienced firsthand, staying with his stepfather, who, as he put it, treated him worse than his own father. James Baldwin was a minister at one point in his life, but later disowned Christianity because he felt that the religion was not real and was culpable in the marginalization of black people. He once told the leader of the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, that he does not belong to any religion, that he was just a writer and nothing more. James came out as gay and traveled to France and Switzerland to get away from the prejudices in the United States, only to return in 1957 to continue his civil rights work. With his writings and engagements in the civil rights movement, he became very influential and was invited by Attorney General John F. Kennedy to his very apartment to have a meaningful discussion on civil rights changes within America. James Baldwin was also featured by Times Magazine because of his detailed and articulate essays on the racial effect on the black community. Being weary of his activities, the FBI decided to put him under surveillance, monitoring his moves and those he associated with during the heave of the civil rights movement. James Baldwin became a member of the Congress of Racial Equality, otherwise known as CORE, and the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, to help push the agenda of racial abuse of the black community. James Baldwin became influential in the United States and abroad, making many friends with fellow civil rights activists such as Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, politicians, and entertainers. One of his closest associates was fellow writer Maya Angelou, who he encouraged to write her autobiography, I Know Why a Caged Bird Sings. James Baldwin ultimately died of stomach cancer on December 1, 1987 in France, and he was buried in New York City. From the civil rights movement, even unto today, the books, the works, the writings of James Baldwin have inspired many.